please.
Yeah, team, you can start.
Good evening to all. Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ananya Rai. I welcome all the joinees, dignitaries, and active learners to the session under Project SOCH that stands for Socio-Economic, Organizational, Cultural Harmony among G20 India, Journalism, Mentor, Life Coach, Acknowledged Mindset and Business Coach in Delhi Education Department, and Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, architect of Spandan, Habits Training Program, trained more than 1 lakh students, certified yoga and meditation coach. Moraji Desai Yog Sansthan Delhi, architect of Swachhata Chopal Sanitization Awareness Campaign, facilitated with Youth Leadership Award by MP government for working in Shivpuri district over sanitization, founder of ETH Youth Foundation as well. And today he is joining us to convey a talk on comparative analysis on WASH project. Thank you, sir, for showing your presence. Please enlighten us with your words. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Pradeep sir and Ananya ma'am and all the delegates, it's a wonderful opportunity for me to talk to you people, because whatever I am doing, that is my conviction towards my purpose, and some kind of goal I do have for the country. But let me start my journey with my own experience. In the last few years, I have seen that there are huge amount of the opportunity in the field of this wash, and especially in the field of the sanitation in the country. Even the government of India also have this Swachh Bharat mission. But what I found in Delhi itself, that the project or the policies is a entirely different thing when we see the real results on the ground level. So on the basis of that, I started the campaign on sanitation, especially in my own district. And before this 26th of Jan, means this Republic Day, we started one rigorous campaign for cleaning a city. And the focus area of that sanitation campaign was the mindset. I thought that everything is okay, the policy is okay, documentation is okay, the government are trying best up to the best because of their resources, but somehow the results and the outcome are not appropriate. That I analyzed in last few years. So to conclude all these things, we entered at the ground level with our work.
Yeah, Dr. Devanji, just one thing I would like to know more about, as Ananya was giving your kind introduction. And
So
I was so much fascinated about the introduction part when she was telling about that recognition which is being given to you by MP government and the DM of Sripur district.
so
On the note of course, initiation of our talk, I would like to know more about first the Spandan. What exactly this is, and what students or what you guys are doing under the Spandan.
So Spandan is a very very fantastic phenomena. Basically, in Spandan, what we are doing, we are communicating with the youth of this country, especially the students. And the way of communication is not only the books or any study material, but the behavior aspect and the various challenges they are facing in their life, and the various opportunity they can cash with in upcoming years in their life. So we are trying to connect their aspirations, their goal with their capabilities and their experiences. So I think in last few years, we are organizing this Spandan in many schools, colleges, and in many educational institutions. And we have observed that the students and are tremendously connecting with that Spandan. And the one of the basic element of Spandan is that we try to focus on the mindset. For example, there is a inertia in this country that the student should prepare for the government job, or they should be go in a traditional way. Why they should go in a traditional way? Why they can't go beyond the box thinking, or they extend capabilities, or they can't work on their own strength? So we are trying to
Dr. Tangi, you are on mute, I feel.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible now.
Of experts like the psychologists, like the people who are doing good work in their field, like the entrepreneur, like the people who are working in the field of literature, or in n number of the areas. So the students, once they interact with the real heroes, they got real experience of them, and they feel that, oh,
Dr. Deven, you are on mute, I feel.
I think I'm not on the mute, sir.
Okay. I would like to know more about what exactly activities per se you are doing under the Spandan.
In
What are
Spandan, yeah. In Spandan, the first and the foremost activity is that we connect with the students with their own goal and objectives in the life. For example, so once the conversation go ahead, then we find out that, okay, where the students are facing challenges in their life. So we try to communicate or resolve their issues of life. For example, they are the students that they have a big goal in their life, but they are unable to go in the direction, or they are not going proper direction or any kind of guidance. So we bridge that gap. We provide the essential resource person to them, and accordingly they guide to the student, and they go ahead with them, doing some 10 days or 15 days sessions with them, and they try to resolve their issues first. Second is that we have seen that countrywide the students facing one biggest problem, that they are facing the distractions. They are running with the challenges of overthinking, depression, anxiety. So we communicate with these students with the psychoanalyst, psychiatrist, and the counselor also. So in this way, we identify the cohort, and according to their need, we provide the expert to them. And under the expertise, one interesting thing we do is that we not provide only one-sided guidance or one-sided command. We listen them. We
I think again we lost sir. It's good way actually how Dr. Deven sir is doing. He is trying to connect with the students first, trying to understand their inspiration and aspirations, and of course trying to bring in the solutions for the challenges which they are facing. Sometimes students are coming up with the challenge, sometimes not. So it totally depends upon the capability and ability of the students actually to deliver on that, whether they are facing the challenges, they can come on, speak on for that or not. This is also a biggest challenge set where you need to identify student also that he or she is having a challenge or not.
yeah.
Dr. Devanji, I would like to know more. Of course, this is how you guys are counseling and you guys are creating a support system for all the youngsters or younger generations. Coming to the next level, how this was projects or the mission SOCH Abhiyan got connected to your integrated part of Spandan?
See, actually, we know that we are as I already explained, that we are working on the mindset simply, and there is a one big lacuna, or we can say there is a one gap in this whole implementation of the Swachh Bharat mission, that we are so much emphasizing on the hard structure of cleaning the cities and the rural areas. In spite of that, we are very much or less cleaning the brain of the people. The problem here is, there is a big problem here. Actually, we must work on the brain or the minds of the people. So what we learn at the ground level, that every day our volunteers are going in the city around this man market, and they are asking the people to please keep this one dustbin there for the litter. But every day they are committing the same mistake. So we can say that human is trainable, but how long it will take time. I mean, to how much resource we have to spend for cleaning the city and rural areas. If we are sticking on the hard structure only, then the result or the outcome will be far flung. That our study says, ground level study. So that's why we are making these youth as a hero, as a front barrier, and the real game changer of this whole process of achieving the this sanitation goal in the cities. So that's the way we are doing. And second thing is that for the first time, when we are engaging the youth in a frontline activities, they are so engaged, because the classroom are become boring. Honestly speaking, the NCRT has written in around 2005 2006, and till the time they have not revised. So the same activities are conducting in the school classroom and the colleges. But now we have to go on the new education policy also. And in the new education policy, with the new challenges, we have to connect the youth with the new challenges, with the new solutions. So that's the way we are doing in this way we are doing with these youths, sir.
Got to know how what you are talking about, that new education policy. Actually, under new education policy, there is a different terminology being used that is called as life learning skills.
Yeah.
And under the life learning skills, these aspects are being covered actually. You have mentioned that, of course, what we are doing for this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. There is bigger lacuna is what we are doing. We are trying to do physically, being present there, or cleaning our cities, or putting our money, hard money, that it's country's money or taxpayers' money onto that for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. But rather than doing this, there is a bigger challenge. And that bigger challenge is the behavioral attributes to be actually rectified or to be attained or to be identified. But don't you feel that this will take a time, because changing a behavior set of the person, it takes more time rather than doing any of the physical activities?
Sir, I fully agree with you. But what the option we left behind? I'm simply asking one question from everyone who is in this group. That because this is the only behavior which can bring a seed changes in the community. The municipal corporation are doing their job. They are the sanitation worker. They are cleaning city every day, and they are the people who are installing the structures on war footing. But if after half an hour, people cleaning the city, and when they are returning back to their home, they saw the same results. So I think this is kind of digging the well and putting all whatever the soil they have kept outside in the well again. Kind of the same procedure is following. Same. So I think this is not reaping any result, and the resources are wasting in a huge amount. So that's why we are working on the brain. We know that the working on the mindset is a difficult task. It consumes a huge amount of the time, long time. But we are very optimistic, because within the 15 days of campaign, we took few places, and these places turned in a great result. That's why the DM and the state government acknowledge our work, because our volunteers were continuously acknowledging them. They were continuously asking the people that this is the wrong. Please be the agent of change, participate in this process of change, like that. So we were appreciating also. We were acknowledging the people, and we were rewarding the people also. And the rewards did a lot of work. Actually, we are not rewarding the people. The problem is this: we have to change in a multiple way. We have to acknowledge the people, everyone, those who are the foot soldiers. We must acknowledge them. We also acknowledge the small vendors who are working very nicely, and who are maintaining the dignity of city. So when we start rewarding, the others also see, oh, somebody is rewarding us, kind of that. Not only punishment, reward was a lot of rewards gives a lot of huge amount of the results that our experience says. And the mindset, definitely it changes, but it take time. That is true. It take time, but it can give a long lasting results, sir.
One thing I would like to mention here: have you ever went to Tirupati?
Sir, I have not gone, sir. I have not seen.
I went Tirupati several times, and one good thing actually I would like to mention. about the Tirupati at a railway station. The moment you throw anything, you just drop a wrapper, okay, just drop a simple wrapper on the floor. The
Sir.
person who is cleaning, he or she is coming up and actually he is doing it, and he or she is doing what? He is thanking the person, those who are actually making that particular place dirty.
Yes,
By
sir.
that they are setting uh, what you can say, they are actually targeting the brain of the person, that if
Yes.
you going to do, if you are going to do this,
Yes.
if
Yes.
you are going to make this place dirty, I am there to clean it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that gets striked on to the mindset of the each and every person. And I found that particular railway station entirely cleaned. It's not because of those people actually. The training been given to those people
Yes. Yes.
that once people are doing this activity,
Yes. Yes.
how
Yes.
you need to actually, how you need to behave, or what you need to tell to these people, those who are making that particular platform or the any of the public utility dirty actually.
Yes. Yes.
But this is a reverse kind of exercise which actually these workers are doing. But across nation and across countries, people are not being trained likewise. So it totally depends upon how best practices can be actually work on, or the model best practices can be taken from other states or other countries and can be incorporated in our country, in our state too. My very next question is, during this period of 2 to 3 months, what are all those good practices which you found during this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which you did actually for Sripura district? And what was the challenge set, the biggest challenge set?
So the best good practices we adopted was the first, that we acknowledge the efforts of the people in a multiple ways. For example, what we did, our volunteers were providing the rose flowers to every in the marketplace, so many vendors, and even they were committing the mistake. So they were saying that, okay, no problem, again, if you commit the same mistake, we'll provide the next 2 flowers, 3 flowers, kind of that. So it was kind of innovative approach, that they are committing the mistake and they are providing on every mistake they are providing the one more flower. So I think it was kind of ashamed for them. They might be realizing that we are committing mistakes and we are not properly understanding what they are saying. So the people were participating first. Second, we made Swachhta Mitra, the Swachhta Mitra. There was one concept we just started, and the Swachhta Mitra means that those who are anywhere in the city, those who are doing something in their capacity, we were acknowledging them on the public platform, and we were making them as a warrior. We were considering them as a warrior hero of the city, and we did this for continuously 20 days, and the results were entirely different, because in the particular colony where they were staying, they were trying to do extraordinary work for that. Next, we did the Swachhta Chopal, and it is an innovation. Swachhta Chopal means that on every day, 1.5 hour, we invited the dignitaries or any person from the city who is having some reputation or doing some work in their capacity, to discuss with the community that why we need this sanitation in the city. And we did it for 7 days continuously, and it gave a entirely different results, because when it was in open area and everybody was coming and looking that something is happening in the city, there are 4 or 5 big cameras are there, there is a chopal, the people are discussing about the sanitation, so it was communicating with these people. And next we did this Sunday selfie. So what we did, that wherever you are staying, you are in the office or in your home or any place, on the Sunday you clean your premises and share a selfie on DM handle, like that. So the DM handle means once you share on the DM handle, you will be acknowledged that on citywide, okay, you are doing something good for the city. And one very interesting innovation we did in our capacity was that in our city there are 3,000 taxi drivers. Taxis are there, we did a meeting with them, and what they did, that continuously 20 days they supported a movement, this movement. Whenever they are going to railway station or in moving in the city, they were having the big banner and slogan on their taxi, that we want to make the city number in the cleaning, kind of that. So it was so kind of the innovative ideas we implemented, and in multiple ways the results were good. Actually, everybody was happy. In night, we used to go to this theme road of 13 kilometers in our city, that is a main road. And I used to ask the people nearby that how the city is doing. So everybody was so happy. They were saying that the city is doing good. You can see that there is a very less litter in on the road, like that. So it was the good conduct, and it was the collective effort. Basically, I think this is the collective effort. Sanitation and the wash is a collective effort. It can't be done by one person or the one institution. It is a collective effort, and there is a requirement of the good inertia for that. So we did in that way. There are many other ways also, like we did the quiz contest, the poetry work, and the art and culture programs for the students, like that we did. So
I would like to know what
sure.
was the challenge actually once you have initiated this particular program, that is
Sir,
that is for
sir, please.
that is for Swachhata
The
in
challenge.
city. What was
Yes,
the challenge you have actually faced on?
so the first and the foremost challenge was that we were we were with the deficit of the resources. We hadn't the needed amount of the resources, and resources, especially the funds. Basically, the government are having the funds, but maybe their priority are different. And uh, being a non-governmental organization, we were lacking the funds. So what we did to neutralize that the lacuna of funds, we tried to do the communication. We emphasize more on the communication, because we can't hire the people on the salary basis. So we worked on the voluntary basis. We encourage the volunteerism in the city. The first. Second challenge was that even these municipal corporations, they are having resources, but somehow, I don't know how, but somehow they lack focus. This is my own experience. I'm not condemning anyone, but there is a lack of focus, that how we will start this process and how we'll reach to the end, kind of that. For example, there is a segregation of solid and this wet waste from the house itself, and where to dump it and what to do next to that. So to connect from 0 to 1 or 0 to 100, this whole this connect is lacking in in our surrounding. And the next challenge was that the mindset itself is the biggest challenge, because the people, the changing the behavior of people is a biggest challenge, because you have to invest huge amount of the energy, time and again, making the people to mend the way. It takes time, and these are the big challenges that I found. But yes, by doing the continuous efforts, and optimism can be a big sword, we can say, or a big weapon that continuously is with us till now. So we are very optimistic about it. So
Yeah, I do agree on that. That challenge is biggest challenge to actually do any of the activity or to transform is to change the behavioral attributes and work on continuously to change the behavioral attributes of the people and the society. Now coming to the motive behind doing this SOCH, that is, we are focusing towards the G20 nations.
sure.
I would like to know from your end how we are placed, country as an India, and what is that comparative analysis among these G20 nations on WAS. Let me explain you what exactly the WAS is first. WAS is water and sanitation, water related sanitation and hygiene projects. There are different projects under government also, under NGOs also, funded by World Bank also, funded by other entities also. But in continuation and in coordination to the municipal corporations, in coordination to the corporates, in coordination to the societies and in coordination with the people in and around. These vast projects have been taken up across globe. Country per se, what I can preview or what I can actually suggest on, if you would really like to know more about WAS and how exactly it is doing across globe, do try to read on the WAS activities across African countries, because they have the bigger challenge set related to waterborne diseases, and because of the bigger challenge set due to these waterborne diseases, and number of casualties are higher at those that particular continent, they did a tremendous work actually to uh, to address that particular challenge set. And the number of projects across African continent is huge, and there is a bigger transformation in related to any of the country and any of the continent actually. Moving on to our guest speaker, he will narrate the status quo of all these global G20 nations actually, as per the comparative statements of those vast projects and the pillars or the as per the indicators of those vast projects. So, firstly, I would like to know what are all those indicators or the pillars under vast. If I would like to know, or students would like to know, what are those?
So basically, if we identify WAS as in a big canvas, so they are focusing on the five big elements. Like for example, water supply, sanitation, hand hygiene, healthcare waste management, and environment cleaning. If we identify WAS in a broader canvas. Now, in that all on the five elements, we find that there is a clear-cut definition of everything. If we are talking about the environment cleaning, means environment cleaning of the health premises. In that, do we have point-to-point connect of segregating the waste and disposal? For example, if we are talking about simple this sanitation, means there is availability of the toilets.
Sir, you are on mute.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are saying that.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
For the separate toilet for the female. These are some basic standards. So I think if we are comparing the countries on the basic standards of water availability, sanitation, hygiene, and this surrounding environment cleaning, or the waste management of the hospital and the city, then we find that there is a huge amount of the database. But in that database, what my analysis is that Africa is doing better comparatively in comparison to other countries. The reason is that when we say that why they are doing differently or in a better way, because there is a requirement. They feel necessity of it. We know that throughout the world, around 670,000 newborns are losing their life because of the sepsis, and maximum are from the African countries. So they are feeling that there is a requirement of working in a rigorous mode on the WASH. When we come to Southeast Asia or in Asian countries, once our work of development and efforts, when they convert into any kind of miseries, then I think we will awaken what Africa is doing. So my going to one country, I'm comparing the continents, that Africa is doing better because they feel necessity, and necessity because there are the miseries, the people are losing their life because of GI disease, because of the infectious diseases. Same whatever we have seen during the COVID crisis. Now we are focusing more on the hand hygiene after the COVID crisis, because there is a necessity globally. It was felt that yes, there is a requirement of keeping the hand hygiene. So in my whole understanding of this WASH in a broader perspective, that we are going to meet the sustainable development goal SDG 30, the goal number 3 and 6. They are particularly focusing on these, especially on the WASH. But the other, on the other side, I have seen that many countries are not even having the data. That I was reading about this. I'm showing one data that I was reading about this sanitation. So it was shocking that around 40 to 45% of the countries are not having the data itself about the sanitation. So if where will we analyze the things? If the data are not available, then how can we analyze the things, or we can compare, or we can think that something is going beyond? Although the countries are doing well on their own level, even the India is doing well, but we have to be institutionalize the thing. Sanitation is a such a potential area globally that it need a strong efforts, not only global level but at the region, because it has a huge potential for the employment generation, for the tourism, and in the upcoming decades it will be the biggest challenge, or it will be the biggest solution for the global community. That I think, sir.
Okay, what is the basic necessity to actually go for WAS to be implemented at any of the city or any of the country? What are all those basic necessities?
Sir, what I think that if all these 5 elements are to be implemented in toto, then there is a requirement of 2 elements. One is the hard structure, a second is the soft structure. In India, under the Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0, out of all the investment, 8.2% of the investment is on the soft structure. What I feel is that I think it should be increased. My own experience of a small city says that we must work more on the soft structure. IEC, what the UNICEF is doing, the WHO is doing, they are working more on the soft structure, because see, you can't purchase crores of the machines again and again, and you can't clean the city, or you can't change the society because of the machines only. You have to work on the brain, and to work on the brain you need training. Even that, I'll tell you one element of this this environment cleaning. Under the environment cleaning, there is there are 3 elements. That is, one is the protocol of cleaning, and second is the staff responsibility, and third, the most vital part, is the trained people. So what I have seen, that we need the trained people, honestly. Not only those people who are cleaning the city, no, everyone must be the part of this wash process. For example, whatever we have seen in the this polio eradication program, that we were not leaving a single stone unturned. Everywhere we were communicating with the society, with the people on the roadways, highways, on the railways, on the airport, in the school, the colleges, everywhere. So that's why I am saying that we must change this somehow. Even the government must do this, that we must focus on the training part. Because if we work on the IEC, soft skills, then the city will clean. The hygiene component will definitely be the habit of the people. And if we will invest huge amount of the money only on the resources of collecting the resources or machines, then I think it is a requirement, but it will be I think, in my knowledge, it will be not so much on the optimistic line, sir.
Dr. Devanshi, one thing I would like to add on into this. Having a clean water, or having availability of this thing, safe drinking water, is not a privilege actually. It's a basic requirement for each of the people. So I do differ on this, that providing a basic requirement of that fresh drinking water, what government is trying for, is focusing. That's actually coming under WAS.
Yes,
if you have a basic infrastructure in place, then only we can actually address this particular issue, rather than only targeting the people to actually skill on for those. Skilling is required, I do agree on that, but if we don't have a basic infrastructure to get that safe drinking water, can we achieve that one?
Sir, I fully agree with you. Obviously, there is a requirement of installation of the structures. But sir, the next level that we are coming on, that after installation of the structure, there is a sense of ownership among the masses also. What is happening? The government is implanting, they are installing the this tap or some pipelines and all. What the people do? They sabotage them, they destroy, don't taking care of them, don't maintaining them. That's what I am saying, that since independence we have been doing the same activities time and again. We are investing huge amount of the money in every budget, but when we see the results on the ground level, in the village level, we say the people are openly defecating, the uh, people are destroying these pipelines, they are not maintaining kind of. That's why I'm saying simultaneously, parallelly, we must work on the brain of the people, because till the time the people not feel the sense of ownership and belongingness and trusteeship, the structure can't be sustained, even the results can't be converted. That is my own experience of doing work at the ground
But
level, sir.
suppose if they have the ownership and if they know the responsibilities to actually own that particular resource, then the results will be actually differing with which is what actually presently we have. I do agree on that, that this is required as part of what you have and how you need to maintain and what exactly you need to do. So you were referring for African countries. How other countries or how other continents are actually working for those things or the VAS?
Sir, see, that's what I earlier told, that African countries are doing because they are facing challenges, and they are facing because they are tropical country already. They are facing huge amount of the infectious disease. So because of the geographical location, also they are facing challenges. So they had to do that. But in Indian context, if we see the Southeast Asian countries, we are seeing that there are the new challenges globally, that especially Southeast Asia is also facing that this global warming and climate change. Now this global warming and climate change is a new challenge. In that perspective, you have to maintain this wash also, because the water resources are depleting, we are saying. And globally we have seen the erratic weather conditions. Somehow in India also many cities flooded, and then somehow they were like some drought, some other thing like that we are observing in every part of the world. So in that sense, we have seen that there can't be one size fit for all. That is my own observation. Every continent, every country must do their own efforts according to their own weaknesses and their requirement. Sustainable development goal are, they can be the Bhagavad Gita of the development for the global community, but every country has to take their own perspective from that. When we are observing this, sir, when we
I
are,
can see on
sir,
chat there are two questions actually in related to our discussions.
sir,
Firstly, Malti is asking what sort of training must be provided so that it reaches to ground level.
sir, please, pardon.
What sort of training must be provided so that vast projects or this what we are discussing reaches to the ground level people or
Yeah,
to the mass?
sir, what I'm saying, that training means that training must be the part of curriculum of school and colleges. That is my
But
own
what sort of training it
training,
is?
that I'm saying the first point, it was my first point. Second point means we need a very basic training, that how we clean the hand, wash the hands, the training of washing the hands, for example. This is the very basic. Even we conduct the sessions in the schools, the students not know that how to clean the hand, how many time we have to rub this, and at what time we should wash before taking meal, or at what time, like that. So that is the basic. Second, when we are going at the public place, we must have that decorum. That is also the part of the training, because we are cleaning our home, we are keeping the things around us very nice, fantastic, clean. But when we go on the outside the world, we become the wild. So that kind of training also needed, that this is also a part, this is also the part of our country, and this is our home. Like when you go in Indore, they're the people having this kind of sense. If you going by taxi out of airport, this taxi wala will say once, at least request you So you have this water. This is my experience. So this, you have this water bottle in your hand. Please don't throw outside. Keep this bottle in your, either in your bag or leave it in taxi. I will discard it. So training means very basic of sanitation, very basic of resource, how to prudentially use the resources like the water. Don't leave the water tap open. Every rural area, every place we move and go, and we seen the water is flowing, the tank is flowing. These are the basic trainings, sir, and they must be taught in the school and colleges, because it is a continuous process, and we have to pass generation to generation how to preserve the resources and how to uh, sustain the things for the next generation. So that is the part of the training, and modules can be entirely different in a different way. For example, recently, let me finish one more point. We have installed this sanitary napkins in a few girls' school colleges, this machines, and incinerators also. So the girls were not knowing that how to use these incinerators, because we installed them, but they are not knowing. So what we did, we give training for them continuously for 5 days. The girls, they learn, and then the results converted simply. So
there is one more question in regard to our previous discussion.
Sure.
Malti, again, she was asking, sir, you have mentioned municipal corporation lack the focus. How we can change this as they do the major part of the cleaning? How we can do it?
See, that is a good question actually. When I went to them, because they are the boss simply, and we are the citizen. Very simple. Now the district administration is a boss, and if you are going to them and you are advising them, they say that, who are you? The first question is, who are you to tell us that why should do this in that way? That is the biggest challenge I faced. It was the biggest challenge before me. But what I did, I started to work with the community, and I was doing with my volunteers. We were doing at our own level, because the change always start from yourself. The people, the country, the society start to recognize you later. Everything you have to push from your inside. That I always request to every student. Please do start your efforts from yourself. Once you started your efforts, everybody start to acknowledge. That is my own experience. So because you can't ask them to work on your conditions, they have their own priorities. But even then, they start to acknowledge and they start to work. That is my own experience. I'll not talk about any bookish. I'll tell whatever I did, because accordingly I did, and I got the results. So I always advise everyone also, and the small efforts start give a big change. You take one.
He was telling that whatever you need to actually initiate from your end first.
Yes, sir.
Project take that it's my thing. Take the ownership, take the responsibility of doing it first. Once you owe it, once you put it as a responsible person, as an responsible citizen, and project it that we can do it. I can do it, my people can do it, my 10 number of people, my 20 number of students can do it. Why not 100?
Sir.
Then the things get multiplied, and then this recognition actually comes in the place, or the support system which we are focusing for, which Malti was talking around for why the how we can change the mindset of the municipal corporation officials. Once they will see that, okay, around the temples, around the libraries, around the bus stops, around the railway stations, around the beaches, this particular organization is doing the camp regularly. They are very much constant on doing this particular activity. Why not to support them? Because they do have the mechanism, they do know about these things, but until unless your work get recognized
Yes.
in various forms, in multiple times, and the consistency which you are exhibiting, that is the key point to actually what we keep on saying, or Modi ji keeps on saying, is first of all reform, then perform, and then the transform. So
Yes,
you
yes.
need to perform it, then only the transformation can be there. That's what you can continue, Devendra.
So one of my own experience, actually, what I was doing, I was going to my men market. There is a men market in my city, and there are these tea vendors. So what I was doing, I was collecting their glasses, those who are on the road, and I was collecting those glasses and putting in the dustbin. So the people there, they were observing me and they were gazing me that this man who is well attired, looking sophisticated and educated, what he is doing. So it was a element of surprise for everyone, and I was not talking to saying anyone, I was not uh, saying anything, not arguing with anyone, and I was doing that. And 2 3 days continuously I did that. The people were observing somebody has come in a city, and what the hell he is doing. And when I came, they suddenly start to do sir, namaskar, good morning, good evening kind of work, and they start to change. Then what I did, I start to sit with these sanitation mitras, these worker, these employee of this municipal council. And they, when they were cleaning the city, I used to ask them to please sit and we will have a tea. So I was offering them tea, and I was discussing about being a doctor. I was discussing about their health. That during COVID, what you did, what kind of challenges you faced, how is your family, how is your son and daughter doing, and they were communicating, they were saying everything. And within a week, what I have seen that 400 sanitation worker, they got a huge amount of the goodwill or trust. Like they thought that somebody is talking about our health. Their officers were not talking about their health. Their superiors are not talking about health. I did health checkup for them also, and then things started to change. The DM observed all the things, and DM asked me to please come, sir. We have to talk. And there was a big meeting in this the conference hall. The hall was full of around 100 officers throughout the district. And the DM was asking, sir, what we should do like that. Then I said only 2 3 lines. I gave my presentation, but what I beyond the presentation, I said we must respect our sanitation worker. We must, because they are the real heroes. And from that words onward, everything started to change in my city. From that, only that conversation, we must respect the people who are really doing the work, and the things changes. The leaders are those who are taking the whole responsibilities and hiding all the lacuna of the society, but uh, taking the responsibility of the people and the places, or behaving like a sensible person. If you are doing that, you will change. Definitely will change. But begin with yourself, please, sir.
Yeah, there is one question during this discussion. Uh, one of the query, I must say, it's coming and tickling in my mind.
So
What is that is, we know Japan as a country.
sir.
Okay, it's also a G20 nations, part of G20 nations, and they have a very good practices around sanitation and around hygiene and each and everything. Even the technology, entrepreneurship, each and everything, they are uh, at par level. I must say, they are beyond the levels which we are discussing for, or which we are actually saying. But they do have certain practices. Shall we follow those practices, or we go for an administrative laws in place, or should be strict enough to make cities clean? Or thirdly, we should go in a participatory way. What can be the one best way actually out of these three?
Again, I'll say, sir, that there cannot be one solution, because the carrot and stick both are required simultaneously. The people are, see, law why the laws are made. The laws are made because they regulate the society. When there is when there is when the something is seen that there's going out of box, that is not uh, appropriately working in the society, then laws work. Obviously law work. If there is an encroachment, what will you do? The government has to take the action simply. So the laws work. But what I think at my personal level, I am a duty bounded person. I firm believe in my duties, and the fundamental duties what the constitution enshrined on me, I am completely adhere with them. There are a lot of people came to me during my campaign. Somebody was saying I am the environmentalist, I am this activist, I am that activist. Then I said, okay, it's okay, fantastic. I believe not in the confrontation, but in the coordination process. Because once you start to coordinate with everyone, the in the bottom of the pyramid, at the above the pyramid, then the results converts. That I'm saying. Litigation is also one solution, but it takes huge amount of the time, sir. Because once you go in this defensive and this in this kind of mode, then sometimes there may be some ambiguities also. But yes, at a government level, both elements work. But for my own experience, I say that we must focus more on this in this process of cooperation with the society, coordination with the society, and the people must be make the stakeholder of the development. Even in this wash process also, people should feel that, oh, this is our country, this is our place, this is our city. They love the work when we consider that, okay, you are the part of this. So, and we have seen that historically also, the Gandhi was a one person, single person with one cloth. He was not having in any the weapons, and but all the weaponaries and all the people who had the weapon, they were afraid of Gandhi. Without the weapon, the person who hadn't the weapon. The history tells so many things. So I think we can learn these things from the history also. But yes, somehow law is required.
Can,
Sir.
can you explain on some of the practices of Japan as a country?
Sir, for example, in Japan also, you see, they culture is the integral part of the Japan. We say, see, the cleanliness is in their behavior. You see in the Japan, even the public restaurant also, they maintain the kind of this decorum that they can't go with the shoes and these slippers inside the public, even the public restaurant. So that is their part of the culture. And obviously any country evolve because of their culture also. If we continue with the culture that we are having in every city, there is a there are the ponds, there are the rivers, there are the wetlands. If we countries consider their sanctity, then definitely, even after following the religious rituals, we can maintain their cleanliness. What we are doing, Ganga project, clean Ganga project, clean Yamuna project, and in all Indian rivers are polluted because of human. All excreta, city waste are mixing in them. So in Japan, what they are doing, they are the modern society, but culturally modern society. That is very interesting. That they are carrying their values in their development process also. You see the respect to their own people and the people who are coming from outside. So these are the few practice they in everywhere their culture reflects, and that is needed in our country, sir. Also, so
Thanks. Actually, Dr. Devanji, we have very limited period of time for this discussion, and I'm excited to learn on more on to this was. I will be actually presenting certain things to my students also,
sir,
and we keep on inviting you on this forum on other occasions too during the project SOCH. Happy to actually hear you. Students, if you have any queries, please let us know either from the chat box, or you can you yourself can unmute yourself and now ask to sir related to our discussions under project SOCH or for WAS. I request my IT team to actually present certificate of gratitude to sir for giving his precious time here supporting our students under project SOCH, guiding on how culturally the things can be different, or how what is exactly the narrative of cleanliness in the cities, what is the narrative of people actually, and what are the thoughts which are coming in whenever we are talking about the WAS or the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Thanks, Devenji. Thanks
you so
from
much.
my end for supporting to this particular project, SOCH.
Thank you so much,
I can see on the chat. Okay,
sir.
there is one. Okay, Swastika Bhomik is writing. We are supposed to read environmental studies from over and above grade 7. There we can get to know that how to clean our environment, like through the waste in the dustbins only. As you had told about the training, it's a part of training also, but it is bound only in the books. Many of the students knowingly through the waste here and there, throw their waste, knowingly throw their waste here and there. And if someone like to tell them anything, their answer is like everyone is doing. What if I do? And sometimes we can't find dustbins in front of us to throw something. So what should be the solution of these?
Sir, actually, what I think it is a very interesting observation. It happens so many times. It happens so many times. So what I did actually, sometime when I found such kind of circumstances, so I keep the things in my pocket, and I seek if some appropriate place for throwing it. But if something is big to throw, then I think it is a challenge. So now the role of the government and this municipal corporation and other authorities come here, that they should start to install these the dustbins at the public places, that we initiated in the Shubri also in our district, because of the same concern. The people, they are people that they are too much concerned about the sanitation, but they were finding very difficulty that where to throw it. So I think it is a two-way process, that we should convince the ULBs also, urban local bodies, and if uh, it is able to carry, if you can carry small litter or something, the packets of the biscuits and namkeen, then you can carry somehow. When you find, then you can throw. I keep the thing in my bag. When I travel, I keep the things in my bag.
Just to add on what Dr. Devenji is saying, and to the query which has been nice thought on what you can do or how you can respond on once someone is asking that if I'm single person and doing by me will do what actually, how it will converse. So you can present it in a different way, that if a drop of water we are collecting, it becomes ocean. And likewise, the single litter by you, or that single waste dumped by you, unforeseen or untimely actually uh, cleaned by any of the community worker, that is municipal corporation, will actually change into a bigger problem of the city. Why? Because the moment I throw it, the very next moment, some second or third person is
Yes,
coming
yes,
there
yes,
and
yes,
again
yes, yes, yes,
slowly, it becomes a mountain,
yes, yes.
a mountain of dump, where now even it becomes out of hand, I must say, from these municipal corporation authorities also. So a single throwing of waste by a single person can actually become such a huge problem for any of the town or any of the city, which we need to actually narrate on. It will take 2 minutes of time to actually explain to that particular person. Only thing is, first you need to make him or her calm down and try to understand the narration of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, or the narration of cleanliness, or the narration of hygiene, which is directly linked to our habits first. If we go on, actually asking our people to understand this first, the solutions will be there. Secondly, to what Madam Ji was asking, Of course, municipal corporation do take on surveys. Government of India is also taking the surveys. State governments are also taking the surveys. What best you can do, what best they can do. Try to write it on that. Try to respond on those surveys, because surveys, once we are filling it, it gets read up by the authorities. It gets acknowledged. No matter you are not recognized, but this change becomes because of those surveys only. So do participate on those surveys. Do write your comments on those surveys. What best or what suggestions you would like to convey to your local governments, local governing bodies, because those surveys are helpful for you. Thank you. Thanks for that particular query, because uh, we required such part of discussions. If students are asking this, then only we can narrate on what exactly the government is doing. Suppose in one fine city, there are n number of dustbins, but the right place of the dustbin is not there.
Yes, yes.
It happens several times. You can see even in our cities, I can see n number of traffic lights. At some of the junctions, it is nowhere required. But what we did is we didn't did a single bit of survey or single bit of need assessment and whether that particular traffic light is required there or not. So likewise, we need to think for, we need to respond to those surveys. We need to make government authorities to actually understand that okay, this is required now. If the people are going around, like in universities, we have certain dustbins across universities, but out of the university, if students are coming out, they don't have such mechanism. So how to transfer or what exactly the resources required to use, that's need to train, and that is what the Dr. Devanji was talking about, training part of that. So I do agree on those things. Thanks, Dr. Deven, and thanks to all the students for supporting this project SOCH. And we can discuss a number of things under VAS, but today I'm limiting it here. I'm stopping it here. Thanks to you all, and good wishes to all of you. Good wishes to Dr. Devenji also, and good wishes to his foundation. Uh, we are happy to help you out in any form and any kind. And even my students also. Thanks for the today's session. If at all any queries, do let us know, or I am going to end up. Yes, I request all of you to switch on your this thing videos so that we can have a pick of the day.
So before that, I would like to say that those who are very interested in this sanitation project of their city, I think we have this Spandan Telegram channel. They can join Spandan Telegram channel, where we discuss all these issues, and we also take your queries, your own experience, how you can start your journey, so we can discuss it, because gradually we are connecting with the youth also, because it is the youth only. I believe that it is the youth who can be the element of change for this country, and this country is having the huge amount of the demographic dividend till 2047. I think India will be the leading country, not only in the population but in the demographic dividend also. So demographic dividend is the opportunity for the country. So you just come ahead and take new responsibility, challenges, and make your career. I think this local bodies, urban development, sanitation is having a huge opportunity. So you can join this Spandan Telegram channel if anybody is willing. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Thank you, producer, and all. Yeah.
I think team leaders do let us know, or Samhita, you can. Team leaders, done from your end? Samitra, are you there?
क्या करूं?
Anyone of you can take up the screenshots if the team leaders are not there. Those who are having a laptop or the system, because now I'm in my office. Else I could have taken it.